Welcome, dear listener. Tonight we'll drift together into one of the universe's most beautiful mysteries. As you settle into your bed, let your body sink a little deeper into the softness beneath you. Feel the weight of your head on the pillow. Notice how your breath naturally slows as the day releases its hold on you. Tonight, we explore a question that has whispered through human consciousness for generations. Did the Big Bang come from nothing? But don't worry about finding answers. You don't need to follow every word. You don't need to remember anything at all. Simply let the story carry you like a gentle current into the deep waters of rest. As your eyelids grow heavy, imagine the night sky above you, infinite and patient. The stars have been asking these questions long before we arrived, and they'll continue asking long after we've drifted into dreams. You are safe here. You are held by the darkness that surrounds all light. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench your jaw. There's nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to solve. The universe itself began from a place of profound stillness. And tonight, you'll return to that same stillness. Before we begin our journey, if this gentle voyage brings you peace, I invite you to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And in the comments below, share with our community which country you're listening from and what time it is where you are. We're all floating under the same cosmic sky, separated by miles but connected by wonder. Now take one more deep breath and let it go. Our journey begins. Close your eyes and imagine floating in the softest darkness you've ever known. Not the darkness of fear, but the darkness of possibility. The darkness of a seed before it becomes a flower. The darkness of the sky before dawn touches it with color. This is where our story begins. Not with an explosion, but with a profound quiet. 13.8 billion years ago, there was no sky to look up at. No ground to stand on, no eyes to witness, and yet something extraordinary was about to unfold. But we're not there yet. First, we must understand what it means for something to come from nothing. Breathe slowly, feel your chest rise and fall like gentle waves on a midnight shore. When we say the word nothing, what do we really mean? In your daily life, nothing might mean an empty room or an empty cup or the space between thoughts, but these are not truly nothing. The empty room still contains air, light, the possibility of sound. The empty cup still exists as an object. Even the space between your thoughts is filled with the quiet hum of your consciousness, waiting. The nothing we speak of tonight is something far stranger. Something your mind cannot quite picture, because your mind exists within something. You are made of atoms that were forged in the hearts of ancient stars. You breathe air that has cycled through countless lungs before yours. You rest on a planet that spins through an ocean of space and time. So how can we even begin to imagine true nothingness? Let's start gently. Imagine peeling away layers. First, remove all the objects around you. The walls fade, the furniture dissolves like morning mist. Then the air itself thins and disappears. The ground beneath you becomes transparent, then vanishes. You're floating now, but even that sensation fades. The stars blink out, one by one. The galaxies dim. The fabric of space itself begins to unravel. And finally, even time itself pauses, holds its breath, and releases into something beyond silence. This is the edge where our story lives, the boundary between everything and nothing, the threshold where the universe as we know it first trembled into being. Your breath continues, steady and slow, in and out, like the universe itself, breathing existence into the void. Scientists and philosophers have danced around this question for centuries. In ancient times, many cultures believed the universe was eternal, that it had always existed in some form. The idea of a beginning was too strange, too unsettling. How could something come from nothing? Surely there must have always been something. But in the early 20th century, something remarkable happened. Astronomers began noticing something odd. When they looked at distant galaxies through their telescopes, the light from those galaxies was shifted toward the red end of the spectrum. This red shift, as they called it, was a clue, a whisper from the cosmos. The galaxies were moving away from us, not just a few of them, but all of them. In every direction, the universe was expanding, like the surface of a balloon being slowly inflated. Let your body expand with each breath. Feel your lungs fill with air, creating space where there was less space before. This is what the universe is doing constantly in every moment, creating space itself. If the universe is expanding, then logically, it must have been smaller in the past. Wind the clock backward and everything draws closer together. The galaxies converge, the space between stars shrinks, and if you go back far enough, all of existence compresses into a region smaller than an atom, smaller than anything you can imagine. This is the Big Bang, not an explosion in space, but an expansion of space itself. The universe didn't explode into empty space. The universe is the explosion. Space and time themselves burst forth from that initial moment. But here's where the mystery deepens and where our journey tonight truly begins. If we rewind to that first moment, to that incomprehensibly dense point where all of existence was concentrated, what came before it? Was there a before? Can we even ask that question? Your eyelids are heavy now. The questions don't need answers. They're just gentle waves washing over you, rocking you deeper into rest. The universe doesn't demand that you understand it. It simply invites you to wonder softly as you drift. Let's stay in this space for a while, the space of not knowing, the space before the beginning. It's peaceful here, isn't it? No pressure, no urgency. Just the quiet presence of mystery. As you float in this gentle darkness, let me share with you the poetry hidden in the mathematics of creation. Don't worry about the numbers. They're just another form of music, another way the universe sings its existence into being. When physicists talk about the Big Bang coming from nothing, they're speaking a very particular language, a language woven from equations and observations, from experiments and careful thought. But beneath that technical language is something deeply beautiful. Imagine your breath again. That simple, automatic rhythm. You don't have to think about it. Your body knows how to breathe. In the same way, the universe seems to know how to exist. The physicist Georges Lemaitre was one of the first to propose what we now call the Big Bang theory. He was also a Catholic priest, and he saw no conflict between his faith and his science. To him, the mathematics of creation were a form of divine poetry. The universe, he believed, arose from what he called a primeval atom, a single point of incredible density and energy. Picture a seed. So small you can barely see it. Yet within that seed is encoded the entire tree. The branches that will reach toward the sun, the roots that will dig into the earth, the leaves that will dance in the wind. All of it waiting patiently in that tiny capsule. The early universe was like that seed. Everything that would ever exist, every galaxy, every star, every planet, every atom in your body was contained in that initial point. Not as things, but as potential, as possibility waiting to unfold. Your body is relaxing even more now. Your muscles are releasing tension they didn't even know they were holding. This is what the universe did in its first moments. It released, it expanded, it let go into becoming. But here's something wonderful. The expansion of the universe isn't just a past event, it's happening right now, in this very moment. As you lie here, listening to these words, space itself is growing. The distance between galaxies is increasing. The universe is still becoming, still unfolding from that original seed. You are part of that process. Every breath you take participates in the ongoing creation of the cosmos. You are not separate from the Big Bang. You are its continuation. You are the universe experiencing itself, knowing itself, wondering about its own origins. Let that thought settle over you like a soft blanket. You are not just in the universe, you are the universe, temporarily arranged in this particular form, this particular pattern of atoms and energy that you call yourself. Now, about this question of nothing. In the quantum realm, which we'll explore more deeply later in our journey, nothing is quite a strange thing. Physicists have discovered that what we call empty space isn't really empty. Even in the vacuum of space, far from any star or galaxy, strange things happen. Particles pop into existence and disappear again, living for the tiniest fractions of a second before vanishing back into the void. These are called virtual particles, and they arise from the inherent uncertainty woven into the fabric of reality. Think of the surface of a calm pond from a distance. It looks smooth, still perfectly flat. But get closer and you see tiny ripples, small disturbances, the constant subtle motion of water molecules. Empty space is like that pond, seemingly calm but alive with constant quantum fluctuations. So when physicists say the universe came from nothing, they might mean something different than you expect. They might mean it came from this quantum foam, this seething ocean of potential energy that exists even in the absence of matter. Your breath continues its gentle rhythm, in and out, like waves on that quantum ocean, like the expansion and contraction that some theories suggest the universe might undergo over vast cycles of time. Some scientists have proposed that our Big Bang might not be the only one, that perhaps the universe goes through endless cycles of expansion and contraction, Big Bang, expansion, eventual collapse, then another Big Bang, over and over, like your breath, like the seasons, like the tides responding to the moon's pull. In this view, the question of where the Big Bang came from becomes less urgent. The universe might be eternal after all, but not static, eternally dynamic, eternally becoming, eternally cycling through phases of creation and dissolution. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have so much more to explore, and the night is long and gentle. There's no rush. The answers, if there are answers, will wait for us. Or perhaps they'll drift alongside us as we sleep. You're settling deeper now into rest. The boundary between waking and sleeping becomes softer, less distinct. This is a good place to be, on the threshold, in the liminal space between states of consciousness. The universe itself was born in such a threshold, between nothing and something, between potential and actual, between silence and song. Let's explore this edge together, gently, without strain. Imagine standing at the shore of an infinite ocean. The water is dark, reflecting no light, because there is no light yet to reflect. The air is still because there is no air. You are there, but also not there. You are a point of awareness floating at the boundary of existence. Behind you is the nothing. Not empty space, but the absence of space itself, the absence of time, the absence of physical law. It's not dark there because darkness requires the possibility of light. It's not silent because silence requires the possibility of sound. It is, quite simply, the absence of is. And in front of you, stretching forward into an infinity that doesn't quite exist yet, is the potential for everything. Every possible configuration of matter and energy. Every possible story that could unfold. Every possible path that reality could take. You stand at the moment before the moment, the breath before the first breath. Your own breath has become very slow now, very gentle. Each exhale releases a little more tension. Each inhale brings a little more peace. Scientists call this boundary the Planck epoch. The first incomprehensibly brief moment of the universe, lasting about 10 to the negative 43 seconds. That's a decimal point followed by 42 zeros and then a 1. A moment so brief that our clocks cannot measure it. A moment so strange that our physics cannot fully describe it. In that moment, the universe was smaller than a single proton. All of space was compressed into a region you couldn't see, even with the most powerful microscope ever conceived. The temperature was beyond anything we can create in our laboratories. The density was infinite, or nearly so. And yet from this impossible beginning, everything emerged. Imagine a drop of water sitting perfectly still on a leaf. Inside that drop, entire worlds could exist. Microorganisms swimming through what is, to them, an infinite ocean. To us, it's just a drop. To them, it's everything. The early universe was like that drop, containing everything, yet somehow emerging from nothing, or from something so unlike our everyday experience that we call it nothing, for lack of a better word. Let your mind rest. You don't need to visualize this clearly. Let the words wash over you like a gentle stream. You are the water. You are the stream. You are the ocean that both contains and is contained by existence. One of the beautiful mysteries is this: the laws of physics themselves might have emerged from that first moment. The rules that govern how particles interact, how forces work, how time flows, all of these might not have existed before the Big Bang. They might have been born along with space and time. So asking what came before the Big Bang might be like asking what's north of the North Pole. The question assumes a direction that doesn't exist. Time itself began with the Big Bang, so before might not be a meaningful concept. This is where language begins to fail us, where our everyday understanding of cause and effect breaks down. We're used to a world where every event has a prior cause. You flip a switch, the light turns on, you drop a stone, it falls. Cause, then effect. Before, then after. But at the beginning of the universe, that simple chain breaks or transforms into something stranger. Some physicists have suggested that the universe might have created itself, that through quantum effects we'll explore later, reality might have pulled itself up by its own bootstraps, bringing itself into existence through a kind of cosmic self-causation. Others suggest that our universe might have budded off from another universe, like a bubble forming on the surface of boiling water. In this view, there's a vast multiverse, a foam of universes constantly being born and dying, and ours is just one bubble in that infinite foam. Still others embrace the mystery fully. They say we may never know what came before, or if before even makes sense. And that's okay. Some mysteries are meant to be lived with, not solved. Your body knows this wisdom already. It doesn't need to understand how your heart beats to keep beating. It doesn't need to comprehend the chemistry of digestion to digest. It simply does what it does, participating in the miracle of existence without needing to explain it. As you sink deeper into rest, feel yourself letting go of the need to know. The universe doesn't require your understanding. It simply invites you to be part of it, to flow with it, to rest in it. The night is vast around you. Inside that vastness, you are small and safe. A single consciousness floating in the darkness, connected to every other consciousness, every other particle, every other wave of energy that dances through the cosmic ocean. We've traveled far already, from the question of nothing to the threshold of everything, and we've only just begun. There are deeper waters ahead, stranger shores to visit, but for now, Rest here. Float here. Let the gentle current of wonder carry you wherever it will. You're floating now in a space between sleep and waking. Perhaps your consciousness drifts in and out like waves, touching the shore, then retreating. That's perfect. That's exactly where we want to be. In this space, let me tell you about the first light. For a long time after the Big Bang, there was no light, not as we know it. The universe was too hot, too dense. Photons, the particles of light, were trapped in a cosmic fog. They would travel only the tiniest distance before colliding with an electron or proton, scattering in a new direction, unable to move freely through space. Imagine trying to see through a thick fog on a winter morning. The light is there, but it cannot reach you clearly. It scatters and disperses, creating only a dim glow. The early universe was like that, but infinitely more so. Your breathing has found its deepest rhythm now, slow, steady, like the patient expansion of the cosmos itself. For 380,000 years, the universe remained opaque. It continued expanding, cooling, but light could not yet flow freely. 380,000 years might seem like a long time to you. But in cosmic terms, it's barely a moment, a brief pause between the initial creation and the next phase of becoming. During this time, the universe was still incredibly hot, but it was cooling. From the unimaginable temperatures of the first moments down to thousands of degrees. Still far too hot for anything we'd recognize as matter. No atoms yet. No molecules. Just a soup of fundamental particles swirling in the darkness. Then something beautiful happened. As the universe cooled to a few thousand degrees, electrons and protons began to combine, forming the first hydrogen atoms. This moment is called recombination, though that's a slightly misleading name because they had never been combined before. When the electrons settled into orbit around protons, something profound occurred. The fog cleared. Suddenly photons could travel freely through space. Light was released from its prison. This is the light we can still see today, though it has been stretched and cooled by the expansion of the universe. We call it the cosmic microwave background radiation. It surrounds us on all sides, a faint whisper from the infancy of the cosmos, a message in light sent 13.8 billion years ago, still traveling through the darkness. Feel yourself surrounded by this ancient light. It's here in your room, passing through the walls, through your body. Most of it passes right through you without any interaction at all. But it's there, a constant reminder of where we all came from. You are resting in the glow of creation itself. The cosmic microwave background is one of the strongest pieces of evidence we have for the Big Bang. In the 1960s, two scientists named Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson were trying to eliminate background noise from a radio antenna. They kept detecting a persistent hiss, no matter which direction they pointed their instrument. At first, they thought it might be interference from nearby cities, or even from pigeon droppings on their antenna. But after cleaning everything and checking their instruments carefully, the signal remained. Uniform, constant, coming from every direction. They had accidentally discovered the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of creation, the light that had been freed 380,000 years after the Big Bang, now stretched by the expansion of the universe into microwave wavelengths. This discovery was profound. It meant the Big Bang theory wasn't just mathematical speculation, it was real. The universe really did have a beginning. It really was once unimaginably hot and dense. And we could detect the evidence directly with instruments, with observations. Let your mind drift with this ancient light. Imagine photons that have been traveling for billions of years, crossing unimaginable distances, finally ending their journey in your room, in this quiet moment, as you rest. Everything is connected across time and space. The beginning and the now are not so separate as they seem. You are lying here in this moment, but you are also connected to that first moment when light broke free. The atoms in your body were forged in stars that formed from the gases released in that early universe. You are made of stardust. You are made of light. This isn't just poetic language, it's literally true. The heavier elements in your body, the carbon, the oxygen, the iron in your blood, all of these were created in the hearts of stars. Those stars later exploded, scattering their enriched material into space. From that scattered material, new stars formed, and planets, and eventually, life. You are the universe's way of knowing itself. You are 13.8 billion years of evolution, of cosmic chemistry, of matter organizing itself into ever more complex patterns, until it became complex enough to look up at the night sky and ask, where did all this come from? And in asking that question, the universe completes a circle. It returns to its own beginning. It contemplates its own birth. Your breath continues effortlessly, each breath a small miracle, oxygen entering your lungs, binding to hemoglobin in your blood, carried to every cell, where it participates in the chemical reactions that keep you alive. And all of this oxygen was created in stars. All of it comes from that first moment of light. We carry the Big Bang within us. Every breath is a reunion with creation. Deep rest has found you now. Your body has released into the support beneath it. Your mind drifts, perhaps catching a few words here and there, perhaps not. It doesn't matter, the universe is patient. The story continues whether you're fully listening or not. Let's talk about rhythm, about pulse, about the deep patterns that connect your heartbeat to the expansion of the cosmos. Your heart beats right now, even as you rest, it pulses steadily. 70 times a minute perhaps, or 60 or 80. It doesn't matter the exact number. What matters is the rhythm, the regularity, the reliable cadence that keeps you alive. Each beat pushes blood through your body, out from the heart, through arteries, into smaller and smaller vessels, finally reaching the tiniest capillaries where oxygen and nutrients are exchanged, then back through veins, returning to the heart, completing the circuit. Over and over, your entire life. A rhythm that began before you were born and will continue until your final moment. The universe has a rhythm too. It's expanding. Every second, the space between galaxies grows, not because the galaxies are moving through space, but because space itself is stretching, like the surface of that balloon we imagined earlier, but in 3 dimensions, in all directions at once. This expansion has a rate, a rhythm. We call it the Hubble constant, named after Edwin Hubble, who first measured it. Galaxies farther away from us are moving away faster. Double the distance, double the recession velocity, a regular, predictable pattern. Your breath follows a pattern too, in, out, in, out. The rhythm might slow as you relax, but it remains regular. Your body knows the tempo. It requires no thought, no effort. Just as the expansion of the universe requires no push, no external force. Space expands because that's what space does. It's woven into the nature of the cosmos. But here's something fascinating. The expansion isn't constant. It's accelerating. Scientists discovered this in the late 1990s, and it shocked them. They expected the expansion to be slowing down, pulled back by the gravitational attraction of all the matter in the universe. But when they measured distant supernovae, they found the opposite. The universe is expanding faster and faster. Something is pushing the universe apart. They call it dark energy, though they don't really know what it is. It's one of the great mysteries of modern cosmology. This invisible energy that fills all of space, causing the expansion to accelerate, pushing galaxies apart at an ever-increasing rate. Dark energy makes up about 68% of the universe. Dark matter, another mysterious substance we can detect only by its gravitational effects, makes up about 27%. And ordinary matter, the stuff we're made of, the stars and planets and gas and dust, makes up only about 5%. We are a small minority in our own universe. Most of existence is hidden from us, invisible, known only by its effects. Imagine that you are floating in an ocean where 95% of the water is invisible to you. You can feel its presence, its weight, its movement, but you cannot see it. You navigate by faith, by careful observation of how the visible 5% behaves. This is our universe, mostly mystery, mostly hidden, and yet we exist within it, part of it, made of the same fundamental ingredients, even if we don't understand them all. Let yourself float in that mystery now. Don't try to grasp it or comprehend it fully. Just rest in the awareness that you are surrounded by wonder, by unknowing, by vast territories that remain unexplored. Your heartbeat continues its rhythm. The universe continues its expansion. These two rhythms, so different in scale, are nonetheless connected. Both are expressions of the same fundamental laws, the same physics that governs everything from the smallest particle to the largest structure in the cosmos. In meditation traditions, there's a practice of following the breath, paying gentle attention to the inhalation and exhalation, using it as an anchor for awareness. The breath becomes a bridge between the conscious and unconscious mind, between the body and the environment. In the same way, we can think of the expansion of the universe as a cosmic breath, an exhalation that has been continuing for 13.8 billion years. The universe breathes out, creating space, creating time, allowing galaxies to form and stars to ignite and planets to coalesce and life to emerge. Is there an inhalation coming? Some theories suggest there might be. In the far, far future, perhaps the expansion will slow, stop, and reverse. The universe might begin to contract, all the galaxies drawing back together, space itself shrinking, until everything collapses back into a single point, the Big Crunch they call it. And maybe from that Big Crunch, another Big Bang, another exhalation, another cycle of expansion and creation. Or maybe not. Maybe the expansion will continue forever. The universe will grow colder, more diffuse, until the last stars burn out and the last black holes evaporate, and nothing remains but a thin soup of particles spread across unimaginable distances in eternal darkness and cold. We don't know yet. The universe hasn't told us how its story ends, or if it ends at all. But tonight, we don't need to know. Tonight, we rest in the present moment, in the middle of the story, part of the ongoing cosmic narrative. You are here now, alive and conscious, breathing in rhythm with the universe's expansion. Feel your place in this vast pattern. So small, yes, a single human on a single planet orbiting a single star in a galaxy of billions of stars, in a universe of billions of galaxies, and yet not insignificant. You are the universe experiencing itself. You are the way the cosmos knows its own existence. Every conscious being is a window through which the universe observes itself. Your eyes are the universe's eyes. Your thoughts are the universe's thoughts. In you, the cosmos becomes self-aware. Rest in that knowledge, rest in that rhythm. The heartbeat and the cosmic expansion, the breath and the flow of time all woven together in one vast, interconnected pattern. You're very deep now. Perhaps parts of this story are reaching you in dreams. Perhaps you're barely aware of the words anymore. That's beautiful, that's exactly right. Let me tell you about silence. In the beginning, before the Big Bang, there was not even silence. Silence requires time, requires the possibility of sound. Before the beginning, there was neither. But there are silences woven throughout the universe's story. Quiet moments, pauses between the great events. And in those silences, profound things happen. After the cosmic microwave background was released, after that first light broke free, there came a period called the Dark Ages, not a poetic name, but an accurate one. For hundreds of millions of years, the universe was dark. The first light had faded. The universe had cooled. There were no stars yet to illuminate the darkness. Just clouds of hydrogen and helium drifting through the void, slowly gathering under the influence of gravity into larger and larger clumps. Picture this vast darkness, a universe expanding, cooling, waiting. No observer could have seen anything because there was nothing to see. No light except the fading glow of the cosmic microwave background, already stretched into wavelengths the human eye could not detect. Your eyes are closed now as you rest. Behind your eyelids is darkness, but it's a familiar darkness. The darkness of rest, of peace, of the body shutting down its visual system to conserve energy and allow deeper restoration. The cosmic, dark ages were like that. A period of rest, of gathering strength, of preparation for what would come next. In those dark centuries, gravity was working silently, patiently. The clumps of gas were growing denser. Temperature and pressure were rising in their cores. And eventually, after perhaps 400 million years of darkness, something ignited. The first star was born. Imagine the darkness of the early universe, complete and total. And then a single point of light. Small at first, but growing brighter as nuclear fusion ignited in the star's core. Hydrogen atoms slamming together with such force that they fused into helium, releasing tremendous energy in the process. That first star must have shone like a beacon in the void. Around it, other stars began to form. Slowly at first, then faster. Clusters of stars, then galaxies, then clusters of galaxies. The universe was lighting up, transforming from darkness into light. But it all required that period of silence first. That waiting. That patient accumulation in the dark. Your own rest follows this pattern. When you sleep, it might seem like nothing is happening. You are unconscious, inactive, silent. But beneath that apparent stillness, your body is working. Repairing cells, consolidating memories, balancing hormones, processing the day's experiences. Rest is not emptiness, it's preparation. It's the silence between moments that allows the next moment to arrive with renewed energy. The universe taught us this. Before stars could shine, there had to be darkness and waiting. Before you can wake refreshed, there must be deep sleep. The pause is as important as the action. The silence is as meaningful as the sound. Let yourself sink into that silence now. If you're still listening to these words, hear them from very far away, as if they're floating to you across a vast distance. And if you're not listening anymore, if you've drifted fully into sleep, that's even better. The story will continue without you. It doesn't need your attention to unfold. In the pauses between my words, feel the spaciousness. In the gaps between your thoughts, feel the quiet. This is the same spaciousness from which the universe emerged. This is the same quiet that preceded the first moment of creation. You don't need to be awake to be part of this. You don't need to understand to participate. Simply being here, resting, breathing, existing, that's enough. More than enough. It's everything. The universe came from nothing, perhaps, or from something we can't comprehend. Either way, it came from a profound mystery, and it continues to rest in that mystery even as it expands and evolves and creates. You are part of that mystery. You emerged from that same unknowable source, and one day you'll return to it, dissolving back into the cosmic ocean from which all forms arise and to which all forms return. But tonight, you rest in the middle, in the time between emerging and returning, in the silence between heartbeats, in the space between breaths. This is your cosmic dark age, your period of rest and restoration, and from it you'll emerge renewed, ready to shine your own light into the world for another day. Sleep now, or drift, or float in that space between sleeping and waking. The universe holds you, the darkness cradles you. You are safe in the silence, everything returns, everything cycles, the same themes appear again and again in different forms at different scales, but always recognizable. Your breath returns to itself. In, out, in, out. The same pattern you've been breathing your entire life. The same pattern every human who has ever lived has breathed. The universe returns to its patterns too. Stars are born, live their lives and die, only for their material to be recycled into new stars. Galaxies collide and merge, black holes grow and eventually evaporate. Everything that begins ends. Everything that ends begins again in a new form. This is the great teaching of cosmology. Nothing is truly created or destroyed. It only transforms. The atoms in your body have been part of countless other forms before they became you, and they'll be part of countless other forms after you're gone. You are a temporary arrangement of the universe, a pattern that has formed, existed for a while, and will eventually dissolve back into the larger pattern. But what a beautiful pattern you are, complex, aware, capable of contemplating your own existence, capable of asking where you came from and where you're going. The Big Bang was the first transformation. From whatever preceded it, call it nothing or something, came space, time, energy, matter. Then that matter organized itself into patterns, simple patterns at first, hydrogen atoms, helium atoms, then more complex patterns as stars forged heavier elements, carbon, oxygen, iron, gold. Those patterns scattered through space, gathered into new configurations, formed planets. And on at least one planet, probably on many, the patterns became intricate enough to be called life. Single cells at first, simple but already astonishing. Able to take in energy from their environment, grow, reproduce, respond to stimuli. Already in those single cells, the universe had become aware. Not conscious in the way you are, but sensitive, responsive, alive. The patterns kept evolving. Multicellular organisms, plants, animals, nervous systems, brains, and eventually minds capable of abstract thought, capable of asking questions about their own origins. You are the latest chapter in this story, not the final chapter. The universe isn't done yet, but you are a chapter, written in flesh and thought, in memory and dream. And even as you rest here, the patterns continue. Your heart beats without your conscious intervention. Your lungs breathe, your cells divide, your synapses fire. You are a dynamic process, not a static thing. You are happening right now, even in the depths of sleep. The same is true of the universe. It's not a thing, it's an event. It's happening. The expansion continues. Stars are being born in nebulae, planets are forming around distant suns. Somewhere perhaps other beings are lying in their equivalent of beds, drifting into rest, wondering about their place in the cosmos. All of it part of the same pattern. The same cosmic dance that began 13.8 billion years ago and continues in this very moment. You might dream tonight. If you do, your dreams will be strange transformations of the day's experiences. Your brain will take patterns it observed, mix them with memories, emotions, random neural firings, and create something new. Something that never existed before but is built entirely from existing elements. This is what the universe does. It takes what is and transforms it into something new, over and over, endlessly creative, endlessly becoming. There's a concept in Buddhist philosophy called dependent origination. It teaches that nothing exists independently. Everything arises in dependence on conditions. Your existence depends on your parents, who depended on their parents, who depended on their parents, stretching back through millions of years of evolution, back through the formation of the Earth, back through the death of earlier stars that created the heavy elements, back through the formation of those stars, back to the cosmic dark ages, back to the first light, back to the Big Bang itself. You are not a separate thing. You are a node in an infinite web of causation that extends across all of space and time. Every breath you take contains atoms that were once part of dinosaurs, ancient trees, distant stars. Every thought you think emerges from billions of years of cosmic evolution. This isn't meant to make you feel small or insignificant. Quite the opposite. It means you are intimately connected to everything. You are the universe experiencing itself from this particular perspective in this particular moment. And when we ask, did the Big Bang come from nothing? We're really asking, did I come from nothing? Where do I truly begin? And the answer is the same mysterious answer. You emerged from conditions, from causes, from a vast web of relationships that extends beyond anything you can trace or comprehend. Your beginning is as mysterious as the universe's beginning, and your end, when it comes, will be as much a transformation as an ending. But right now, you rest in the middle, suspended in time, floating in space, a conscious pattern contemplating its own existence. The words are getting softer now, further away, like a tide retreating from the shore. You might still hear them faintly, or you might be fully dreaming now, these words mixing with dream imagery, creating new patterns, new connections. Let the patterns flow. Let one thought dissolve into the next, like clouds changing shape in the sky, like waves rising and falling on the ocean. Nothing solid, nothing permanent, just endless transformation. The universe began in transformation. The nothing or the something became everything we see, and that everything continues to transform, moment by moment, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat. You are part of that flow, resting in it, carried by it, held by it. Sleep now, dream, transform, become. In the spaces between stars, there is mostly emptiness. Vast, unimaginable distances where almost nothing exists, a few stray atoms, some radiation, but mostly just space itself, stretching, expanding, dark and cold and silent. You are floating in such a space now, between waking and sleeping, between one thought and the next, between one breath and the next. The universe is mostly empty space. If you could remove all the matter from an atom, keeping only the nucleus and electrons, and then scale it up to the size of a cathedral, the nucleus would be a grain of sand in the center, and the electrons would be smaller than dust motes orbiting near the walls. Everything else would be emptiness. Your body is mostly empty space. The atoms that compose you are mostly nothing, and yet you feel solid, you feel real. The emptiness somehow gives rise to form, to substance, to the experience of existing as a body in space. Rest in this paradox. Solid and empty at once. Real and insubstantial. Here and also nowhere in particular. In the vast distances between galaxies, light takes millions or billions of years to travel from one to the other. A photon might journey for longer than human civilization has existed, just to cross the void between one galaxy and the next. Your thoughts travel through vast spaces too, Sometimes minutes or hours pass between one thought and the next. In deep sleep, in certain meditative states, there can be long stretches of pure awareness without content. Empty, spacious, peaceful. This is the space we're resting in now. No need to fill it with anything. No need to understand or grasp or hold on to anything. Just float in the vastness, like a single atom drifting through intergalactic space. Time moves differently here. In the depths of sleep, hours can pass in what seems like moments, or a brief dream can contain what feels like years of experience. Time becomes fluid, flexible, not the rigid structure we experience in waking life. The early universe experienced time differently too. In the first moments after the Big Bang, when everything was compressed and dense and hot, time itself was different. Quantum effects dominated. Causality as we know it might not have applied. Events might not have had a clear sequence. Some physicists suggest that time itself emerged gradually from the initial conditions, that in the very beginning there was no clear distinction between past, present, and future. Everything was interconnected, simultaneous, timeless. Imagine resting in that timelessness now. No past to regret, no future to worry about, just this eternal present moment, stretching out in all directions, spacious and calm. The darkness around you is the darkness of potential, like the darkness before the Big Bang. Anything could emerge from it, any dream, any reality. But for now, it remains dark, quiet, full of possibility, but not yet manifested. Your breath continues, so slow now, so gentle. Perhaps you've forgotten your breathing. The body breathes itself, the universe expands itself. Both processes continue without need for conscious control or attention. In the vast spaces of the cosmos, there is no sound. Sound requires a medium to travel through, air or water or some substance that can vibrate. In the vacuum of space, even the most violent events occur in complete silence. The Big Bang itself was silent, not an explosion you could have heard because there was no air to carry sound. The universe expanded in absolute quiet, creating space and time without fanfare, without announcement. Your rest is like that, silent, internal, private. No one else can experience your particular consciousness, your particular way of drifting through sleep. It's yours alone, as unique as your fingerprints, as individual as your thoughts, and yet also universal. Every sleeping person throughout history has drifted through similar spaces. The experience of sleep is both deeply personal and completely shared. You are alone in your consciousness, but connected to all consciousness by the simple fact of being conscious. The universe is like this too. Each galaxy is separate, isolated by vast distances, evolving independently, and yet all are part of the same universe, all following the same physical laws, all emerging from the same initial moment. Separation and connection, solitude and unity, both true at once. Let these paradoxes wash over you without needing resolution. Let the contradictions coexist peacefully. The universe contains multitudes, so do you. The moon circles the earth circles the sun circles the center of the Milky Way galaxy, and the galaxy itself moves through space, part of a larger structure, part of flows and patterns that extend across cosmic scales. Everything moves in cycles, returns, comes back to where it began, but changed, evolved, transformed. Your sleep follows cycles. You drift from light sleep into deeper sleep, then back to lighter stages. Throughout the night, You cycle through different phases, different depths, different types of consciousness. Dreams come in cycles. REM sleep, when most vivid dreams occur, arrives in waves, becoming longer and more frequent as the night progresses. Right now, wherever you are in your sleep cycle, your brain is processing, organizing, creating. The universe might follow cycles too. Some cosmological theories propose that our Big Bang was not the first and will not be the last. The universe might undergo endless cycles of expansion and contraction. Big Bang, expansion, heat death, or Big Crunch. Then another Big Bang, over and over, eternally. And in Hindu cosmology, there's a concept of cosmic days and nights. The god Brahma creates the universe with each breath out, and it exists for billions of years. Then with the breath in, the universe dissolves back into potential, only to be breathed out again in the next cycle. Modern physics hasn't confirmed this, but hasn't ruled it out either. The universe might be eternal, not as a static entity, but as an endless process of creation and dissolution. Seasons cycle. Spring, summer, autumn, winter, then spring again. Each year, the same pattern, but never quite the same. This spring's flowers are not last spring's flowers, but they emerge from the same earth under the same sun. Your life follows longer cycles. Childhood, adolescence, adulthood, old age. Each stage different from the last, but all part of the same continuous journey. And at the end, the atoms that composed you return to the earth, to be taken up by other forms, to continue the cycle. Nothing ends. It only transforms and returns in a new form. The water you drank today might have once been part of the ocean. Before that, a cloud. Before that, a river. Before that, rain falling on ancient mountains. The same water cycling through different forms for billions of years. The carbon in your body was forged in a star that exploded billions of years ago. That star had formed from gas clouds that condensed under gravity. Before that, the carbon was part of the primordial soup of particles in the early universe. And before that, in some sense, it was part of the unified energy of the Big Bang itself. You are ancient. You are recycled stardust. You are the universe returning to itself, experiencing itself, knowing itself through this temporary form you call yourself. Tides rise and fall, pulled by the moon's gravity. The ocean breathes in and out, washing the shore, retreating, returning. Waves are born far out at sea, travel vast distances, break upon the beach, and dissolve back into the ocean that created them. You are like a wave, arising from the ocean of existence, traveling for a while with the appearance of being separate, individual, and then dissolving back into the greater whole. But you are never truly separate. The wave is just the ocean in motion. You are just the universe in motion. Rest in this knowing. You don't have to hold yourself together. You don't have to maintain your boundaries. In sleep, those boundaries dissolve a little. The ego relaxes its grip. You become less defined, more fluid, more like the ocean than the wave. This is healthy, this is necessary. Each night, you practice dying a little, dissolving a little, letting go a little, and each morning, you practice being reborn, reforming, returning. The cycle continues. Day and night, waking and sleeping, activity and rest. The universe pulses with these rhythms, from the smallest quantum fluctuations to the largest cosmic structures. You are one rhythm in the great symphony of existence. Your heartbeat, your breath, your cycles of sleep and waking, all part of the music the universe makes as it evolves, expands, transforms. Listen to that music now. Not with your ears, but with your whole being. Feel the rhythm in your cells, in your blood, in the gentle rising and falling of your chest. You are the music. You are the rhythm. You are the dance. And the question of where it all began, whether the Big Bang came from nothing or something, becomes less urgent, because you can feel directly that you are part of an ongoing process, a cycle that has no true beginning or end, just endless transformation and return. Rest in that cycle now. Let it carry you through the night, through dreams, through depths of sleep beyond dreams. You are held by patterns older than stars, more reliable than any human institution, more trustworthy than any promise. The universe knows how to do this. It's been cycling through creation for 13.8 billion years at least. It knows how to hold you, how to carry you, how to bring you back when morning comes. Trust it. Trust the darkness. Trust the rhythm. Sleep. Beyond the edge of the observable universe, there is more universe. Beyond what our telescopes can see, beyond the reach of light that has had time to travel to us since the Big Bang, there is more space, more galaxies, more stars, more possibilities. We can't see it. We might never be able to see it because the universe is expanding faster than light can cross it. There are parts of the universe that are moving away from us so quickly that their light will never reach us. Think of that. Entire regions of existence that are forever beyond our horizon, not because they're not real, but simply because of the geometry of space and time. The universe is larger than the observable universe, possibly infinitely larger. You are floating in infinity now, perhaps not the infinity of space, but the infinity of consciousness. The depth of your being has no bottom. The vastness of your potential awareness has no limits. In deep sleep, awareness doesn't disappear. It changes, it becomes less localized, less focused. It spreads out like light diffusing through fog. You are still here, still existing, still aware in some fundamental way, even if there are no thoughts, no perceptions, no memories forming. This is the ground of being, the awareness underneath all experiences, the consciousness that witnesses even the absence of content. The universe might have this quality too. Some physicists and philosophers have wondered if consciousness is a fundamental feature of reality, like space and time and energy. Not something that emerges from complex arrangements of matter, but something that was there from the beginning, woven into the fabric of existence itself. In this view, the Big Bang was not just the emergence of matter and energy from nothing, it was the emergence of conscious experience, the universe waking up to itself, beginning the long process of self-awareness that eventually produces beings like you, who can contemplate their own origins. Whether this is true or not, we don't know. It's speculation, philosophy, not established science. But it's beautiful to consider the idea that when you close your eyes and rest, you're touching something fundamental, the same awareness that pervades all existence, temporarily focused in this particular body, this particular brain, this particular moment. Infinite horizons stretch in all directions, not just in space, but in time, in possibility, in meaning. The universe that came from the Big Bang is not the only possible universe. Physics tells us that the fundamental constants, the values that determine how forces work and how particles interact, could have been different. If gravity was slightly stronger, stars would burn out too quickly for life to evolve. If the electromagnetic force was slightly weaker, atoms couldn't form. Our universe sits in a very narrow range of possibilities that allow for complexity, for structure, for life, for consciousness. This is called the fine-tuning problem, and it's sparked much debate. Why this universe? Why these constants? Why a universe that can produce observers? Some answer with a multiverse. Maybe all possible universes exist somewhere, and we find ourselves in this one simply because it's the kind that can produce observers. We couldn't exist in universes where the constants were different. So naturally, we find ourselves here. Others see design, purpose, intention. The universe was created with consciousness in mind. The fine-tuning is not accidental, but deliberate. Still others shrug and say we simply don't know yet. The mystery remains open. Tonight, you don't need to solve it. Tonight, You can rest in the mystery, float in the infinite possibilities, let your mind touch the edges of what can be known, and then release into the vast unknown. Beyond your thoughts, there are thoughts you've never thought. Beyond your experiences, there are experiences you've never had. Beyond your lifetime, there are lifetimes stretching back through your ancestors and forward through descendants you'll never meet. You are a small window in time, opening briefly onto this infinite landscape, then closing again. But while you're open, the universe looks through you. It sees itself. It knows itself. It experiences the miracle of existence through your particular perspective. And your dreams, when they come, are the universe imagining itself, creating new realities, new possibilities, exploring what could be, what might be, what never was but could exist in the infinite landscape of potential. The horizon keeps receding. No matter how far you travel, there's always more beyond. No matter how deep you go, there are deeper depths. No matter how much you understand, there is more to understand. This is the gift of infinity. It means you can never exhaust the mystery. You can never reach the end of wonder. There is always more to discover, more to experience, more to become. But for now, you rest. You float. You allow yourself to be held by the infinite vastness that surrounds you, supports you, contains you. You are a finite being suspended in infinity, temporary yet eternal, small yet containing multitudes, alone yet intimately connected to everything. The paradoxes dissolve in this space, or rather, they reveal themselves to be different perspectives on the same truth. You are both the wave and the ocean, both the question and the answer, both the universe and a tiny part of it. Rest here, in this borderless place, in this timeless moment, in this infinite now that contains all past and all future in its embrace. The Big Bang happened 13.8 billion years ago, and it's happening now. The universe is still expanding, still creating, still becoming, and you are part of that process, that unfolding, that eternal emergence from mystery into manifestation. Sleep deeply, dream widely, float endlessly in the vast, gentle darkness that holds all light within it. Let go now of trying to follow. Let go of trying to understand. Let the words become just sounds, just rhythms, just gentle waves of vibration that wash over you and pass on, leaving no trace. The mystery is not meant to be solved, it's meant to be lived, experienced, rested in. The question of whether the Big Bang came from nothing cannot be fully answered, perhaps. Not because we lack intelligence or instruments, but because the question touches the very limits of what can be known. It asks about a time when time itself might not have existed. A place when place itself was not yet real. Language fails here, concepts fail. The mind, evolved to navigate the everyday world of objects and causes, reaches its boundary. And that's okay, that's appropriate. Some mysteries are larger than understanding. You experience this every night when you fall asleep. There's a moment when you transition from waking to sleeping. Can you catch it? Can you observe the exact instant when consciousness shifts? Usually not. You're either awake and trying to sleep, or you've already slipped into sleep without noticing the transition. There's a gap there, a mystery, a threshold you cross without knowing how or when. The universe's beginning is like that threshold, magnified infinitely. The moment between not existing and existing, between potential and actual, between nothing and everything. And here, at this deep hour of the night, you're experiencing your own version of that threshold. You're dissolving, letting go, releasing into sleep so deep that you might not even dream. Just pure rest, pure being without content. This is a kind of returning to the source, not the Big Bang itself, but the deep ground of existence that underlies all manifest reality, the stillness from which all movement arises, the silence from which all sound emerges. Mystics throughout history have spoken of this ground. They've called it different names: the Tao, Brahman, the void, God, pure consciousness, the unified field. The names differ, but they're all pointing to the same ineffable reality. The reality you're touching right now in the depths of your rest. The reality that holds you when all else falls away. You don't have to be religious to experience this. You don't have to believe anything in particular. Simply by being alive, by being conscious, you have access to this depth. Simply by allowing yourself to rest completely, to let go of all grasping and striving, you sink into it naturally. The universe came from somewhere, or from nothing, or from itself, or from something beyond our categories of understanding. However it happened, whatever the truth is, it resulted in you being here now, breathing, resting, existing as a small miracle of organized complexity. And that's enough. That's more than enough. You don't need to understand your origins to appreciate your existence. You don't need to solve the cosmic mysteries to live fully, love deeply, rest peacefully. The stars don't understand themselves, they simply shine. The ocean doesn't comprehend its own nature, it simply flows, and you don't need to grasp the ultimate nature of reality. You simply need to be, to rest, to allow. Right now, your body is performing millions of operations every second. Cells dividing, proteins folding, neural connections forming and dissolving, immune responses fighting microscopic invaders, digestive processes breaking down and absorbing nutrients, your liver detoxifying, your kidneys filtering, your heart pumping, your lungs exchanging gases. None of this requires your conscious attention. Your body knows what to do. It's built from billions of years of evolutionary wisdom. It carries the knowledge of how to be alive, how to maintain itself, how to heal and restore. Trust that wisdom now. Let your body do what it knows how to do. Let your mind release into rest. Let your consciousness dissolve into the larger consciousness that pervades all existence. You are safe. You are held. The universe that created you continues to sustain you. The same intelligence that organized atoms into stars and planets has organized atoms into you. And it knows how to keep you alive, how to restore you, how to bring you back to waking when the time is right. Surrender to it. Surrender to the mystery. Surrender to the darkness and the depth and the incomprehensible vastness that cradles all existence. The Big Bang was a surrender to, in a way, a release of pure potential into manifestation, a letting go into becoming. And that same process continues in you every moment, every breath, every heartbeat. You are the universe's way of surrendering into form, of becoming specific, particular, individual. And in your deep sleep, you return briefly to the formless, the undifferentiated, the ground from which all forms arise. Rest there now, in the formless, in the ground, in the source. No more words needed, no more concepts, just this, just being, just the gentle presence of awareness, barely aware of itself, floating in infinite peace. In the deepest part of the night, when most have long since fallen asleep, the universe reveals its most subtle patterns, the connections that are always present but rarely noticed. Everything is connected to everything else, not just metaphorically but physically, through chains of causation that extend across space and time. The light from distant stars that enters your eyes was emitted perhaps hundreds or thousands of years ago. You are seeing into the past whenever you look at the night sky. The stars might have already died, but their light still reaches you, still touches you, still connects you to their ancient existence. In quantum physics, there's a phenomenon called entanglement. Two particles can become correlated in such a way that measuring one instantly affects the other, no matter how far apart they are. This isn't science fiction, it's been experimentally verified countless times. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance, and it troubled him. How could particles influence each other across vast distances, apparently faster than light? But nature doesn't care about our intuitions. The universe is more strange and wonderful than our everyday experience suggests. You are entangled with everything around you. Not in the quantum mechanical sense perhaps, but in equally profound ways. Every breath you take contains atoms that have been part of countless other organisms. You are constantly exchanging matter and energy with your environment. The boundary between you and not you is not as clear as it seems. When we ask whether the Big Bang came from nothing, we're asking about the ultimate connection. How is everything connected to its source? How does the universe connect to what came before, or to the underlying reality that gave birth to it? These connections might be hidden. Not because they're secret, but because they're so fundamental we look right through them. Like fish not noticing the water they swim in. Like you not noticing the air you breathe until someone points it out. Right now, as you rest in the deepest part of the night, you're closer to perceiving these hidden connections. The boundaries of self have dissolved. The constant mental chatter has quieted. In this space, you might glimpse, even if only dimly, the underlying unity of all things. Ancient wisdom traditions speak of this unity, the insight that separation is illusion, that everything is one, that you are not just connected to the universe, but are the universe, experiencing itself locally. Modern physics hints at the same truth. All matter and energy came from the same source, the Big Bang. All particles were once unified in that first moment, and in a sense they still are. The universe is a single, interconnected system. Drawing boundaries, distinguishing this from that, is useful for navigating the world, but ultimately arbitrary. You are the universe, focused temporarily in this particular form, looking out through these particular eyes, thinking these particular thoughts. And in your deepest rest, that temporary focus relaxes, and you remember perhaps your true nature as the whole expressing itself as a part. This isn't meant to erase your individuality. Your unique perspective is valuable, precious, irreplaceable. But it exists within a larger context. A wave is not less beautiful or less real for being part of the ocean. In fact, it's more beautiful, more miraculous, precisely because it is the ocean manifesting in this particular form, this particular moment. The connections are always there. Between you and your breath. Between your breath and the air. Between the air and the trees that produce oxygen. Between the trees and the sun that powers photosynthesis. Between the sun and the ancient stars that created its atoms. Between those stars and the Big Bang that birthed the elements. One vast interconnected web of causation stretching across billions of years and billions of light years. And you are a node in that web, a point where the connections meet, a place where the universe becomes conscious of itself. Rest in those connections now. Feel yourself held by the web, supported by it, part of it. You are not alone. You have never been alone. You are intimately, inextricably, eternally connected to everything that is, was, or will be. The mystery of origins is the mystery of these connections. How does something arise from nothing? Perhaps by recognizing that the something and the nothing are not as separate as we think. Perhaps the nothing contains the potential for everything. Perhaps the distinction between nothing and something is itself an illusion, a product of our limited perspective. These are not questions to answer, but to rest with. to let them work on you in the depths of sleep, to let them shape your dreams, influence your unconscious, open doorways in your awareness that remain closed during waking hours. The night is wise. It knows things the day forgets. Trust it. Trust the connections. Trust the hidden patterns that sustain all existence. You are woven into the fabric of reality. You cannot fall out of it. You cannot be lost. Even in your deepest dissolution, in sleep or death, the connections remain. The atoms that compose you return to the cycle. The energy that animated you flows into new forms. Nothing is lost. Everything transforms. What does it mean that the universe began? What does it mean that you began? What does it mean that anything exists at all? These questions of meaning arise naturally when we contemplate origins, but meaning is not something we find in the universe. It's something we create or co-create with the universe through our existence and awareness. The universe doesn't have a meaning written into it like words in a book. It doesn't come with instructions or explanations. It simply is. It exists. It unfolds according to natural laws, physical principles, mathematical regularities. And yet to you it means something. It must, because you're here, wondering about it. The fact that you ask the question reveals that you are a meaning-making being. You are the way the universe generates significance, purpose, value. When the first stars ignited in the cosmic darkness, there was no one to appreciate them. Their beauty existed, but unwitnessed. Their light spread through empty space, touching nothing, seen by no one. But now, billions of years later, you exist. And you can look up at stars, recognize their beauty, understand their nature, appreciate their significance. Through you, the universe witnesses itself. Through you, meaning emerges. The Big Bang, whatever it came from, led to this moment. To you, lying here, contemplating existence. Was that inevitable? Was it purposeful? Was it accidental? We don't know. Perhaps the categories of inevitable, purposeful, and accidental don't really apply at that level. But here you are regardless, a universe that can ask about its own origins, a fragment of the cosmos that has become conscious, reflective, curious. Some find this terrifying. If the universe has no inherent meaning, if it's just matter and energy following blind laws, then everything is ultimately pointless. We're just temporary patterns, briefly existing before dissolving back into the void. But others find it liberating. If the universe doesn't have a predetermined meaning, then you are free to create meaning. Your life is what you make of it. Your choices matter because you decide they matter. Your existence is significant because you experience it as significant. Perhaps both perspectives have truth. Perhaps the universe is both meaningless and meaningful depending on how you look at it. Perhaps meaning is the interaction between consciousness and the raw fact of existence. The universe provides the context, the stage, the possibilities. You provide the interpretation, the story, the significance. As you rest here, in the small hours of the night, your life continues to have meaning even though you're unconscious of it. Your presence matters to those who love you. The patterns you've created through your actions and choices continue to ripple outward, influencing others, shaping the future in small ways. Meaning doesn't require constant awareness. It's woven into the structure of your relationships, your habits, your accumulated choices. It persists even when you're not attending to it. The universe is like that too. Whether or not there's a cosmic purpose, whether or not the Big Bang was intended, the universe continues to generate structure, complexity, beauty, consciousness. Stars shine whether anyone sees them. Galaxies spiral, whether anyone appreciates them. Life emerges whether anyone planned it. And occasionally, in certain configurations, the universe becomes aware of itself. In you, in every conscious being, in every moment of reflection and wonder. This is the gift of existence, not a predetermined meaning handed down from above, but the capacity to generate meaning, to create significance, to imbue existence with value through your participation in it. The Big Bang gave you this gift. Whether it came from nothing or something, whether it was caused or uncaused, whether it was the first or one of many, it resulted in the possibility of your existence, the possibility of awareness, the possibility of meaning. And you honor that gift by being here, by existing as fully as you can, by experiencing deeply, thinking clearly, loving openly, resting completely, by allowing yourself to be a vessel through which the universe knows itself. You don't have to do anything extraordinary. Just being conscious, just existing, just resting here in the darkness, that's enough. That's everything. You are the universe waking up to itself. That alone is miraculous. Let meaning arise naturally. Let it flow through you without grasping it. Like your breath, it comes and goes. Like your heartbeat, it pulses. You don't have to create it forcefully or defend it anxiously. It emerges naturally from the fact of your existence. Tonight, meaning, might take the form of rest, of restoration, of surrendering into the darkness so that tomorrow you can return to the light, refreshed, renewed, ready to participate once more in the great unfolding of existence. That's enough. That's meaningful. That's your participation in the cosmic dance that began 13.8 billion years ago and continues in this very moment. Rest in that meaning. Rest in that participation. Rest in the quiet knowing that you matter, not because someone told you so, but because you are here, aware, existing as a focal point of the universe's self-awareness. Sleep deeply, dream beautifully, be the meaning you seek. We come now to the end of our journey, though there is no true end, just as there was no true beginning. Only the endless flow of existence, and we have been floating in it together for these hours. The question remains, soft and unanswered. Did the Big Bang come from nothing? We have circled around it, approached it from many angles, felt its edges, tasted its mystery. But we have not solved it. Perhaps we cannot solve it. Perhaps it is not meant to be solved. Some mysteries are gifts precisely because they remain mysterious. They invite us into wonder. They keep us humble. They remind us that for all our knowledge, all our science, all our philosophy, the universe still holds secrets we cannot penetrate. And that's beautiful. That's appropriate. If we understood everything, if every question had a clear answer, the universe would be diminished somehow. The mystery is part of the beauty. The unknowing is part of the knowing. You understand this in your body. You don't know how your heart beats, not really. You don't know how your cells divide, how your neurons fire, how consciousness emerges from physical processes, and yet you trust it all. You rest in the mystery of your own existence. The universe asks for the same trust. Rest in the mystery of cosmic existence. You don't need to know where it came from. You simply need to be here, in it, part of it, grateful for the incomprehensible gift of awareness. The night has deepened around you. Hours have passed. Perhaps you've been asleep for most of them. Perhaps you've been drifting in and out, catching words here and there like stars glimpsed through clouds. Either way, you've been resting. And that was the purpose all along. Not to answer the question, not to solve the mystery, but to rest in it, to let it hold you, to fall asleep surrounded by wonder, cradled by the same universe that cradled the Big Bang itself. From nothing or something, the universe emerged. From sleep, you will emerge tomorrow. Both are acts of creation. Both are miraculous. Both are beyond full understanding. And that's okay. That's more than okay. That's the way it should be. Let the mystery remain. Let the question linger. Let yourself dissolve completely now into the deepest rest, the most profound sleep. You've earned it. You've traveled far tonight, through billions of years, through vast concepts, through the origins of everything. Now return to your own origin, to the ground of being, to the silence before thought, to the darkness before light, to the nothing that is also everything.
Rest there, completely, totally, without reservation. The universe holds you. It always has. It always will. From the Big Bang to this moment, from this moment to your waking, from your waking to your eventual return to the cosmic cycle, you are held. You are part of the great mystery. You are the question and the answer, the seeking and the finding, the nothing and the everything.
Sleep now, dear traveler. Sleep deeply. Sleep peacefully. The stars will watch over you, as they have watched over countless beings throughout cosmic history. The darkness will cradle you, as it cradled the universe before time began. The mystery will keep you safe, as it keeps all existence safe in its infinite embrace. And tomorrow, when you wake, the question will still be there, soft and beautiful and unanswered, waiting for you like a friend, like a companion for your journey through existence. But for now, let it go. Let everything go, dissolve into pure rest, pure being, pure peace. Tonight, you drifted through the universe's greatest mystery, resting inside its quiet truths. You floated through 13.8 billion years of cosmic history, from the first impossible moment to this gentle now. You explored the question of whether the Big Bang came from nothing, and perhaps you found that the question itself is a kind of poetry, a way of touching the infinite with finite words, a bridge between knowing and unknowing. The universe emerged somehow from somewhere or from nothing, and you emerged tonight into deep rest, carried by that same mysterious process that births stars and galaxies and consciousness itself. May your dreams, if you dream, be filled with starlight and wonder. May your sleep be as deep as the cosmic void and as peaceful as the space between heartbeats. May you rest in the arms of the same mystery that holds all existence. If this journey brought you peace, you're welcome to return here anytime. The mystery will wait for you. The question will remain patient and gentle, ready to carry you into sleep whenever you need it. And if you'd like to share this journey with others who seek rest in the vastness of cosmic wonder, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the comments below, let our community know which country you're listening from and what time it is where you are. We're all floating under the same infinite sky, all part of the same cosmic story, all asking the same beautiful questions. Thank you for drifting with me tonight through the greatest mystery of all. Thank you for trusting the darkness. Thank you for surrendering into rest. May you wake tomorrow refreshed, renewed, and still filled with gentle wonder at the impossible miracle of existence. And good night, dear listener. Sleep well.